I have a feeling that these days we're going to be talking a lot about the Anaheim Ducks, because for as hard of a negotiator as Pat Verbeek is, at some point, the hand that you feed is going to bite back. Is that the right way to say it? No, absolutely not. I have no idea what I'm trying to say, honestly, but you get what I mean. At some point, going out there and playing hardball with everybody is going to have its consequences. From Mason McTavish leaving, to Trevor Zegras leaving, to Jamie Drysdale leaving, to Pavel Mintyukov, at the time of recording this audio, not having a contract. He's eligible for an offer sheet too. And Leo Carlsson signing an $18 million AAV deal, which sees him making $39 million total dollars in the first 12 months. Pat Verbeek, what a massive mistake it was letting Leo Carlsson get this far into his RFA eligibility. You had all year to sign him. But with that said, now that the Ducks are in this extremely vulnerable position, it opens the door to a prime Vancouver Canucks trade. Let's talk about Canucks defenseman Filip Hronek and ask whether or not the Anaheim Ducks and their desperate mode today opens the door for a possible Hronek trade over to the Ducks. Now, I gotta say this at the very beginning. There's a big caveat. We always know that this is the case with Filip Hronek. The guy has trade protection. If he gets traded to Anaheim, it's gonna be because he's okay to go to Anaheim. If he gets traded anywhere, it's because he was willing to waive. All reports indicate so far that the Vancouver Canucks are not really all too interested in moving him, and Filip Hronek himself is really not all too interested in moving on from Vancouver, at least not right now. But let's talk about Anaheim and read some tweets. Taj went out there and posted this 2 days ago on the day of the Leo Carlsson offer sheet. The Ducks should take the 4 first-round picks that they'll get by not matching the Carlsson offer sheet and trade them to Vancouver for Filip Hronek. Satir Shah went out there and asked on July 3rd, it's Mailbag Friday on Canucks Central. What questions can we answer for you this week? One of the replies goes out there and says, if Anaheim doesn't match the offer sheet, how many of those firsts will be available for the Ducks to use to acquire Filip Hronek? Now, just so we are clear, when you look at NHL offer sheet compensation in 2026, we do have a Puckpedia article that gives us everything that goes down. 4 first-round picks. So when you look at the teams that have the eligibility of giving 4 first-round picks worth of offer sheets out, Philadelphia is one of those teams. They would be sending over their 2027 first, their 2028 first, their 2029 first, and their 2030 first. 4 firsts. Crazy how that works, right? We can count. But if the Anaheim Ducks end up getting all these first-round picks in exchange for Leo Carlsson, which I don't even know if that's actually going to happen here, Pat Verbeek said he would match any offer sheet, so hey, bud, balls to the wall right now. Go out there and prove that you were right. If he backs down and he takes the first-round picks instead, then that would be absolutely bananas. Oh, man, Pat Verbeek walking back on his word. Tough negotiator, but he can't walk the walk. That would be a disaster. However, if the Anaheim Ducks end up actually taking on those firsts, you could probably make a bet that says, yeah, maybe the Ducks would be interested in making some sort of a big blockbuster move with those first-round picks in order to keep their team competitive in the now. Filip Hronek and maybe Elias Pettersson going over to the Ducks? Who really knows? We spoke about this in the last video. But with the Anaheim Ducks missing out on Olen Zellweger, they traded him away to Buffalo. Radko Gudas is gone. Jacob Trouba is gone. He stayed in the division. The Ducks kind of need to get everybody they can on D doing their thing. Jackson Lacombe is still sticking around. He's good. Pavel Mintyukov, that guy could get offer sheeted later today. Who really knows? This D-core needs bodies. Guess what? Filip Hronek is a body. He can help. You had Sapster going out there and saying this on Twitter as well. If you think about it, Pat Verbeek could get Pettersson and Hronek from Vancouver for a combined cap hit of 18.85. As a lifelong Ducks fan, Sap is joking, by the way, I think we should take all 4 Philadelphia first-round picks, Roger McQueen, Nikita Klepov, Mathis Preston, plus Sasha Pastujov, and send them to the Canucks for those 2 cost-controlled, selfless studs. Maybe the Canucks will even throw in Drew O'Connor if the Ducks ask nicely. Now, this second part of the tweet is kind of a joke. Roger McQueen, that'd be great. Nikita Klepov, Preston, any of these guys coming over to Vancouver. The more great prospects, the merrier. But just Pettersson and Hronek heading over to Anaheim in that sort of a way, it would technically make sense, right? I mean, if you think about it as well, cap hits are quite important in this context. Leo Carlsson's making $18 million a year. Filip Hronek and Pettersson together, 18.85. That's not bad. For one price of Leo, you can get Hronek and Petey. Think about it, a buy one, get one free type of deal, isn't it? Haha, other than the assets, it's actually pretty smart. The Ducks could probably get Pettersson and Hronek for 2 first-round picks and a really good prospect, and then they'd still have 2 additional picks to play with. Sap then says, I think Hronek on his own gets 2 firsts from a team like Anaheim, given their window and need for cost-controlled assets, plus the new cap reality. They're also likely one of the teams that would want Elias Pettersson, and would need retention, thus upping the price. So maybe it is multiple firsts. Maybe it is Roger McQueen. Maybe it is Mathis Preston or Nikita Klepov. Who really knows? Big Head Hockey had this summary of the Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks this offseason, they traded Zellweger, they traded McTavish, they lost Trouba, they lost Carlson, they lost Carlson. Yeah, Carlson. Ay. Too many guys with the same last name, differentiated by one S right in the middle there. But it's been a total disaster for the Anaheim Ducks. A reply to this tweet says, hey, capitalizing their desperation. Filip Hronek is a Duck. Roger McQueen is coming to Vancouver. Is this desperation, not the cap squeeze? Why would they trade an ELC player for a guy on 725? Because they're entering win now mode, and they're already loaded with forward depth. Meanwhile, they barely have any depth on defense. I'm not necessarily saying that Roger McQueen is indeed going to be a Vancouver Canuck. It'd be nice. I mean, I was a fan of cars growing up, so that would tickle some sort of a positive emotion in my brain somewhere. But first-round picks, Filip Hronek, Elias Pettersson, I would say that this conversation has a lot more wheels than it probably should. Like, am I seriously sitting here and saying that this is going to happen? No, obviously not. If I, as an objective observer from the outside, tried to think about it like, oh, what are the odds that Elias Pettersson and Filip Hronek get traded to Anaheim after the Ducks do not match the Leo Carlsson offer sheet? What are the odds of that happening? Like, what, 5%? 3%? Heck, maybe that's 5 or 3% if you guarantee that the Ducks don't match the Carlsson offer sheet. If they think about matching it and then they just decide to do that, then you don't have a trade for Hronek and Pettersson. That doesn't go through. I guess for right now, we can hypothesize what could happen because the decision is still looming. We have a few days to go here after all. But is this a possibility? Could you see Filip Hronek and or Elias Pettersson going over to Anaheim for multiple first-round picks, assuming the Ducks don't match the Carlsson offer sheet? Pat Verbeek, they are really twisting your arm here now. Almost like a saw trap. If you don't move quickly, your jaw is going to be dislocated from the bottom of your skull. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section about a Filip Hronek or Pettersson trade to Anaheim. Do you think Roger McQueen, if anybody, could be coming over? Do you think it's multiple first-round picks? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.